Picture this. You're standing in your kitchen. The woman you've loved for 6 years is packing a suitcase. And she just said 4 words that made your blood run cold. I'm already in love. Not I'm leaving you. Not I want a divorce. I'm already in love. Past tense. Done deal. Game over. And the worst part? You laughed. You actually laughed. Because you thought she was joking. But she wasn't joking. And what happened next changed everything. Let me take you back 3 months. His name was James. Hers was Rachel. And if you looked at their life from the outside, you'd think they had it all figured out. Nice house in the suburbs. 2 cars. A golden retriever named Biscuit. The whole package. James worked in IT. Decent job. Came home every night at 6:30. Like clockwork. Rachel worked at a law firm downtown. Paralegal. Smart. Organized. The kind of person who color-coded her calendar. They had routines. Friday pizza nights. Sunday morning farmers market. The kind of comfortable life that people dream about. But here's the thing about comfortable. Comfortable can hide a lot of cracks. It started small. Rachel coming home late. Big case, she'd say. You know how it gets. And James believed her. Why wouldn't he? She'd never given him a reason not to trust her. Then she started going to the gym. A lot. 4 times a week turned into 6. I'm just trying to get healthy, she told him. Support me on this. So he did. He supported her. He encouraged her. He even bought her new workout clothes for her birthday. What a fool. The first real sign came on a Tuesday. James came home early. Project got cancelled. Boss sent everyone home at 3. He walked into the house and heard Rachel on the phone in the bedroom. Door closed. Voice low. He couldn't make out the words. But he heard the tone. Soft. Sweet. The way she used to talk to him when they first started dating. When she came out, he asked who she was talking to. Oh, just Sarah from work. She's having relationship problems. Simple answer. Made sense. He let it go. But that night, while she was in the shower, her phone buzzed on the nightstand. James wasn't the type to snoop. He really wasn't. But something in his gut twisted. The message preview said, "Can't stop thinking about this morning." From a contact saved as Jim. Personal training. His heart started pounding. But he didn't unlock her phone. He didn't confront her. He just sat there. Maybe it was nothing. Maybe he was paranoid. Maybe. Everything okay? Rachel was standing in the doorway, towel wrapped around her, hair dripping. Yeah, he lied. Everything's fine. That was his first mistake. Over the next 2 weeks, James became a detective in his own marriage. He started noticing things. Small things that added up to something big. Her phone was always face down now. Always. She changed her passcode. When he asked why, she said her boss required it for work security. Another smooth lie. She started wearing perfume to the gym. Who wears perfume to work out? And the biggest tell? She stopped asking about his day. They'd sit at dinner in complete silence. Her mind somewhere else. Someone else. James did what any desperate person would do. He checked the phone bill online. One number appeared over and over. Hundreds of texts. Calls that lasted hours. All while she was at the gym or working late. His hands shook as he reverse searched the number. The name that came up, Daniel Foster. Age 28. Personal trainer at Peak Fitness. Rachel was 34. James was 36. This guy was younger. Probably better looking. Definitely more exciting than a man who spent his days fixing computer problems. James felt something die inside him that day. But he didn't confront her. Not yet. He had a better idea. James started playing a different game. He became the perfect husband. Attentive. Sweet. He brought her coffee in bed. Left little notes. Planned date nights. And Rachel? She ate it up. She smiled. She laughed. She played along like nothing was wrong. But James wasn't being nice. He was gathering evidence. He set up a camera in the living room. Told Rachel it was for security after a break-in happened 2 streets over. She didn't think twice about it. He installed tracking software on their shared laptop. The one Rachel used to work from home sometimes. And then he waited. It took 3 days. 3 days before Rachel brought Daniel to their house. Their home. The place they'd built together. James was at work. Or so she thought. He'd taken a sick day. Parked 3 blocks away. Watched the whole thing unfold on his phone through the security camera. Daniel's truck pulled into the driveway at 10 in the morning. He was tall. Muscular. Had that easy confidence that James never possessed. They went inside. James didn't watch what happened next. He couldn't. But the timestamp told him everything he needed to know. Daniel left at 1:30. 3.5 hours. When James came home that night at his usual time, Rachel was cooking dinner like nothing happened. "How was your day?" she asked, stirring pasta sauce. James looked at her. Really looked at her. This woman he'd given 6 years of his life to. "It was fine," he said. "How was yours?" "Oh, you know. Boring day at home. Caught up on some work." The lie came so easily to her. So naturally. That's when James knew. This wasn't just an affair. This was calculated. Planned. She'd become someone he didn't recognize. James waited 2 more weeks. Let her think she was winning. But behind the scenes, he was moving. Fast. He copied every text message. Every phone record. Every piece of evidence. He talked to a lawyer. Filed papers. Separated their bank accounts quietly. And then, on a Saturday morning, he made his move. Rachel was packing for a work conference in Chicago. 3 days away. James knew the truth. Daniel had posted on social media about a camping trip. Same dates. "Can we talk before you go?" James asked. She barely looked up from her suitcase. "Make it quick. My flight's at 2. James sat on the edge of the bed. His heart was hammering. But his voice came out steady. "I know about Daniel." Rachel froze. Just for a second. Then she recovered. "Who?" "Your personal trainer. The guy you've been sleeping with. The guy you brought into our house." Her face went pale. Then red. Then something cold settled into her eyes. "I don't know what you're talking about." James pulled out his phone. Showed her the screenshots. The timestamps. The security footage of Daniel's truck. "You can lie all you want," he said quietly. "But I have everything." That's when Rachel's mask finally cracked. "So what?" she snapped. "You're boring, James. You've been boring for years. Every day is the same with you. Same routine. Same conversations. Same everything." "I loved you," James said. His voice broke on the last word. "I know," Rachel said. And then she said something that will haunt him forever. "But love isn't enough. I need excitement. Passion. Daniel makes me feel alive. James stood up. Then go. Be alive with him. Rachel laughed. Actually laughed. Oh, I am. In fact, she zipped up her suitcase. I'm already in love with him. This isn't new, James. I've been in love with him for 2 months. That's when James laughed. Because surely she wasn't serious. Surely this was some kind of sick joke. But her face stayed cold. Dead serious. You're really leaving, he whispered. I'm really leaving. Rachel walked out that door. Drove away to her new life. Her exciting life. James stood in the empty house and did something unexpected. He smiled. Because Rachel didn't know everything. See, when James installed that security camera, he installed 2 more. One in the bedroom. One in Daniel's gym. And James had friends in interesting places. Including one who worked in private investigation. Turns out Daniel wasn't just Rachel's trainer. He was 4 other women's special trainer too. All married. All wealthy. Daniel was running a con. Sweet-talking lonely wives. Getting them to leave their husbands. And then? Getting them to invest in his business ideas. James had proof. Videos. Testimonies from 2 other women Daniel had scammed. But James didn't tell Rachel. He let her go. Let her run straight into the trap. 3 weeks later, Rachel called. Crying. Hysterical. Daniel had taken $40,000 from her. Money she'd moved from their joint savings before James could freeze it. He promised they'd open a gym together. Instead, he disappeared. Phone disconnected. Apartment cleared out. Gone. I made a mistake, Rachel sobbed into the phone. James, please. I'm sorry. I was so stupid. Can we talk? James sat in his new apartment. Smaller. Quieter. But his. No, he said simply. But I love you. I never stopped loving you. I was confused, Anne. You told me you were already in love with him. Past tense. Done deal. Remember? Silence on the other end. I have a question for you, Rachel, James continued. His voice was calm. Cold. Did Daniel ever tell you what he did before he was a trainer? He said he was in sales. He was a con artist. And you weren't the first. You were just the easiest. James could hear her breathing. Sharp. Panicked. The divorce papers will be delivered Monday. Don't contact me again. James, please. He hung up. 3 months later, James ran into Rachel at a coffee shop. She looked tired. Older. The spark she'd been chasing had burned her to ash. She tried to talk to him. Apologize again. James bought his coffee, looked her in the eyes, and said 5 words that ended everything. You thought I was boring. Then he walked away. Toward his new life. His better life. The life where he'd never waste time on someone who couldn't see his worth. And Rachel? She stood there in that coffee shop, finally understanding what she'd lost. Sometimes the best revenge isn't fire. It's ice. What would you have done? Let me know in the comments. And if this story kept you watching, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button. Because trust me, the next story is even crazier.